What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Jake here, aka BrusHstroKeZ, and I had a subscriber ask me about doing a video on clear coating some tumblers. I have a couple to do for a customer here today, so I'll go ahead and show you how I do that. Also got a couple little rendering pieces for another customer here. So I am using Tamco 9500. This is a 30-minute high-speed impact clear. It has 5-minute flash times. Well, they say 3 to 5. Let's see, the booth right now, 76 degrees, 66 degrees humidity, which that'll work for clear coating. So I use these disposable cups. I don't like cleaning out cups, so these are below in the description. These are the cheapest ones I found. They're the MPS, they're the Master Paint System cups. This is the 6-ounce disposable cups, and these are $50 for 50 cups, and you get the hard cup with it. You get 50 liners and lids with filters. So here is the lid. And I'm not 100% sure on the microns on this, but I think it's 125 or 190. It works good for clear coat. I've used all my Createx and everything with it too. If I do spray metallics, you want to pop that filter out. So, but the 9500 clear here, it is a 4 parts to 1 part hardener. We're using medium hardener. That's all I've ever used. I might try the slow stuff soon, but I went ahead, mixed it up, found the 4 to 1 on the cup here. So I went up to the 4 mark with my clear coat, and then up to the 4 here for the other 1 part of clear. So we got that mixed up here. So I'll probably do a voiceover on the rest of this video, just because I'll have my mask on. So, oh, and another thing, the MPS cups, they do not come with these 4 to 1, with these ratio cups. This cup is actually from Tamco. Tamco actually sells disposable cups too. I bought them for the hard liners. You can get these at Tamco. They're $70 at Tamco for a case of 50. So I'm gonna get my mask on here, and then I will do a voiceover on the rest of the video and explain my little process. So for all my clear coat, I used my little workhorse here, the Iwata LPH80. The setup I have on this is the 1.2 millimeter nozzle and needle, and then it is the E4 air cap. They make 2 air caps for this. The other one I think is the E2 air cap, and that has a really small pattern. This E4 air cap has the bigger pattern. And then got my no-name spray gunner regulator here. I do like spraying the 9500 Tamco clear at around 35 to 38 psi. And then for my settings on the gun, I set it at 2 turns in from full out. The LPH80, mine is 4 full turns out. Gives you the full pattern, so I basically have it set at halfway. Sometimes I like to even choke it up a little more, go 2.5 turns in for my first coat. That way I don't get too much product on there, and it gives it a good tack coat. But I will spray all these layers, or all the coats on these tumblers with it at 2 turns in or 2 turns out on this specific gun. So I want to keep a nice consistent speed, and I like spraying really tight, so I'm probably 4 inches off of the cup when I'm spraying these. Alright, and with a 5-minute flash time on these, I like to come in the booth about 2 minutes after they flashed and flip these over. I don't have a tumbler turner, so flipping these over helps prevent any runs or clear building up on the edges of the tumblers. Alright, back in the booth after about 4-minute flash time, 4 or 5 minutes. And I always like to do the string test. When your clear is still stringing like you're seeing here, it's not quite ready. So I'm going to go ahead and give this another minute or so to flash off. We'll want it just to be tacky to where it leaves fingerprints only. Now I always check my settings on my gun, the air pressure, just in case, there's a leak somewhere in the system. You never know, I just double check. So, and here's I really do enjoy these regulators from No Name. And we're still going to be running the same settings we did the first time, just 2 turns out. And we're going to apply the second coat exactly like we did the first, except I did get a little bit of a run in a spot, or not a run, but where clear was building up, where we overlapped. And here you can see it's not stringing as much anymore too. So when I do these tumblers, I do not start and stop the same spot. So this is where we started the first time, right here. So we're gonna, because you get some overlap and you can get too much built up. So I flip the cup over and we will start and stop at a different spot on this subsequent coat here. And then we'll do the same thing on the third coat as well. And always make sure, double check that air pressure. All right, after another 5-minute flash time, back in the booth, ready for our third and final coat. You can see I did have another project I wanted to put a little clear on, or experiment I should say, in the booth there. But I always do the string test on this. With this coat, I did wait 5 minutes for these, so we are all set to go. I make sure to check both of them as well. And it's just barely stringing, so we are ready to get our third coat on. Same settings as before, same process as before. Since we did do or overlap in the same spot, we'll start at a different spot on the cup this time. I always like to check too. Right here you can see a little bit of buildup of clear, not quite a run, but since we had that buildup, we're not going to want to start our and do our overlap at that spot. So it's always something to look for. Look on the top and bottom edges of the cup. So this is where we started our second pass and overlap there. We didn't have any buildup there, but we still don't want clear to build up, so we'll move just a little bit past it to start and stop our overlap there. Once again, double check that air pressure, make sure it's good to go. Once again, we're same settings here, 2 turns out or 2 turns in, either way. Just checking here to make sure I have enough clear to do this cup and this panel here that I wanted to get some clear on. I'm moving this other little sample panel underneath my table there, so I don't want any overspray on it, and that has enough clear on it for being just a little sample panel for a customer. So I'm just looking over the cup again, making sure clear didn't build up in certain areas on those edges. And we'll go ahead and get this third coat laid down with the same settings as the first 2. And once again, just a reminder, flip these cups back and forth. If you don't have a tumbler turner like I do, all I did is made a little 2x4 rack, just 2 2x4s together, drilled a little hole through one of them, and makes a nice little stand to flip them upright. All right, it's been a little over a half an hour, and I untaped this one already. I prefer not to paint the bottom of my tumblers because people set these down on concrete and it can chip up the paint, and I'd rather just not have my paint chip up. But I do want to give you a tip on getting a really super clean edge on this. What I use to tape them off is Custom Creative's yellow rice paper tape. It is extremely thin. It's translucent too, so you can see through it. And this is basically the same exact stuff as the FBS gold masking tape, but this is quite a bit cheaper. A 2-inch roll of this, and the FBS is $22, and 2-inch in this Custom Creative tape, it is only $18. So save $4 on the 2-inch rolls. These smaller rolls, you save $1 or $2. So, but I tape those off because it's super thin, and I feel that it cuts the clear coat best, the seam here in it. So when you untape them, I always just pull it back against itself. And you get a nice clean edge. A couple little spots where I probably didn't have the tape up to the edge good enough, but when I got on the stainless, but it looks like we can just clear still a little soft. It's only been 40 minutes since I did it, so this is a 30-minute clear coat. So it is dry to the touch, but Still a little soft, still needs 12 hours to cure. So yeah, that's all I had for you today. Hope you enjoyed the video and learned something new. Till the next one, keep those brushes stroking.